Pope Benedict XVI has had a lot of prayers said for him regarding the message of Fatima. Over 19 million rosaries recently have been offered up to the Blessed Virgin to have him consecrate Russia. And things are happening. We can see it almost every day. When he went to Fatima, just in May 11th, when he was on his way on the plane, he told the journalists, and they were surprised. I talked to one of the journalists on the plane. She said, we were all surprised. He said that the pedophilia scandal is predicted in the third secret. They couldn't believe it. They found it hard. Where does it come from? Well, of course, as I said, it's in the text that they haven't published. And we've been saying this, that the pedophilia scandal is in there. We've been saying that for the last 10 years. I said, read our books. You can see it for yourself. But the fact that the Pope has said it is really something. The fact that the Pope has actually told the world, and he chose that question. He wasn't caught off guard by the question. He was given written questions. He only answered 3. That was the third question he chose to answer. That's a beginning. But then 2 days later, when he went to Fatima on May 13th, he announced 2 things to the whole world. He chose the audience. There were at least 500,000 people present. I was among them. And the Pope spoke at the very end of his talk of 2 things which were great breakthroughs. The first one was he was warning anyone who thought that the prophetic mission of Fatima was over, was in the past, and not in the present and the future, is deceiving themselves. The English translation that came out of some newspapers, and maybe even from the Vatican Press Office in English, had it wrong. He didn't say they were mistaken. He said, of course, they were mistaken, but more than that, they were deceiving themselves. Si illuderebbe, he said, one would be deceiving himself. And it was reflexive. You're deceiving yourself. It's important. He is telling us that those people in the Vatican, that those cardinals, such as Cardinal Bertone, is deceiving himself when he thinks that the prophetic mission of Fatima is over. And of course, this is very important. In fact, it struck me more and more as I reflect about it. You see, Cardinal Bertone tells us he's released the whole secret because he does have another text. He's pretty well acknowledged it. He said, well, I'm giving you the authentic text, meaning I haven't given you what I consider the inauthentic text, Cardinal Bertone would say. And he says the inauthentic text says something like this: the Blessed Virgin is warning against certain officials in the Vatican who are misleading the public. Now, Cardinal Bertone asks a rhetorical question. Is that possible that the Blessed Virgin would say such a thing about us people in the Vatican? Of course it's impossible, he says. Therefore, it can't be authentic. But here we have Pope Benedict XVI saying, on the contrary, you are deceiving yourself if you believe that. The Blessed Virgin, what she is saying, is the truth. And we see it unfolding day by day in front of us. He says it's terrifying what we see. What Our Lady has predicted, we see it now happening day by day. That's crucial. It's a sea change that the message of Fatima has never seen. Most people don't understand how big this is. But it's very important. Finally, the Italian press is getting it. And they just had a TV show about 10 days ago discussing this. They didn't have the best journalist on the subject, Mr. Sochi, because unfortunately he couldn't get there. But they had some other journalists who were getting it. And even a man who wrote a book saying the secret's all released 10 years ago, even he conceded some of the points that he wouldn't have conceded years ago. They're getting it. Keep up the prayers, keep up the rosaries of the Pope, so he finally says it more explicitly so the average person all over the world can understand it. Pray that he finally release the whole secret. He needs the encouragement of the faithful to say, Pope Benedict, thank you for telling us what you have. We really want the whole secret to be released. We know it's hard. It's not because we're curious. It's not because we want sensationalism. We need this because the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God and our Mother, wants us to know it so we can save our souls. It is defined by the Second Council of Leon, that's 1274, that every faithful Catholic has a right to appeal to the Pope directly for what matters pertaining to ecclesiastical jurisdiction. What that means in this case is you have a right to respectfully write to the Pope and say, Holy Father, with all respect, please release the full text of the third secret. Sign your name and send it to him. And it won't take long. And you should get your friends to do the same. The Pope wants to tell it to us, and if you had tens of thousands or millions of people asking him for it, then we might get it sooner, and it would solve a problem for him too. And it would help all of us in the whole world. With knowing this secret, it will help us save our world. Without this secret, we're on our way to destruction and annihilation. It's up to you.